Hey guys, new channel for you guys. So it's going to be labeled under Grayling Hunter. Now, granted, I haven't found a new name for it, or I might end up changing the name later on. But what I'm wanting to do is this is for the outdoor sportsman. If you like hunting and fishing, this should be the channel for you guys, and I hope you guys really take a liking to it. What I want to do is I want to do reviews over fishing equipment, fishing tackle, different ways of tying knots. Hunting, whether it be calls, guns, camo, it doesn't matter. I'm really hoping this will strike a chord for you guys and that you really take a liking to the channel. That way I can keep putting stuff up. I know I'm a lot different and I learn different ways than everybody else. And I'm hoping that if you're a hands-on type of person, that you like this channel. And if you're not and you're like being educated and you're kind of a book smart person, I hope that you're really listening to it. How-to videos aren't going to be too long. If you want them to be a little bit longer, comment and say something, and I'll try to break it down a little bit more, because I know for a fact, for me, that there's nothing more aggravating than when somebody puts up a small how-to video and they don't describe what they're doing. It really irritates me, and I hope that I don't do that to you guys. What I am going to do today is I'm going to give you a kind of a quick video of what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to do a how-to on how to blow a duck call. With that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to break this call down. You get everybody, they'll break them out of the package and they start blowing through the tube. That's fine, but let's break it down. I've got my reeds here. You guys can see that. I just looked at the camera to make sure that I'm on it. I don't want to be messing this up. So, I have my reeds here, and this is how you really want to start with this. You break this out, and you get a lot of guys who will tell you to say a word. If you try to say a word, what you'll do is you'll move your jaw. If you move your jaw, you're going to lose the airspace. Once you do that, you lose a lot of the tone. Don't actually say the word. You kind of want to articulate your throat in order to say that. You remember when you were a kid, you would make the you get in trouble by your mom and dad, or you would do it and make your dog look and figure out what in the world was trying to go on while it kicked its head to the side. That's how you want to start. It should be through the throat and not with the jaw, and not really trying to say the word. That will give you that chest, that guttural sound that we're looking for when we blow a duck call. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and knock that portion out. Go ahead so go ahead and grasp it like you would grab any normal duck call, and go ahead and try to call on it. Now, if you can make that sound like a duck, if you can get that to sound what a competition caller would do, or any good duck caller sounds like, then you've pretty much got it down. Now, you go ahead and place it back into the tube chamber and blow the same way that we were talking about, through the throat. Now, notice I'm going to go ahead and turn my head to the side and blow the call, and you're going to notice that I'm not moving my jaw. Now, you did see me open my mouth, and that's just to take in more air, because it is really hard while you're trying to blow the call. It is hard to take it in through the nose, or at least it is for me. Some people might be able to do it. If you can, kudos. I can't. That's the way you're going to start. You might have to start out slow by just doing quacks and going through the throat. Watch the throat. I'm not saying the word. I'm just pushing through the call. The only time I'm going to say anything is when I'm doing the feed call. I notice a lot of people have trouble with this. It's not as hard as it's made out to be. It's only when we try to say certain words that work for everybody else. You're going to have to do the research, and you're going to have to do the experimenting yourself to figure out what works for you. A couple of the words that you're going to hear people say is tick, dug, tugga, and for me, that doesn't really work, because again, when you're trying to say the word, the mouth is going to open. So what I like to do is the just fluttering the tongue on the roof of my mouth. That's going to be the slower type feed call. That's going to be the slower cadence. That's that 1 or 2 hens that are content in the water feeding. That's what you're going to use most of the time. I'm going to say 99% of the time. It's only when you start getting into 1,000 or more birds is when you're going to get into that machine gunning sound that you hear on those competition calls. And everybody, when they blow a call, it's the first thing they want to do. That's the first thing they want to learn. And it's unnatural to do that when you only have a dozen to 2 dozen decoys. It just doesn't sound right. So try not to use that one until you start getting into a lot of ducks. And then you got like 5 dozen decoys out there. You might be able to do that. But for most of us that duck hunt, we just don't have that many decoys lying around, nor do we want to pick all of those up. So we'll start out by doing the slower cadence. And again, it's the you get into it, you want to start speeding it up. You got to do the same thing when you was a kid. You ran around with your fingers, or you acted like you were Rambo and you would go. It's the same thing in the duck call. You're just going to blow a little harder and a little faster, and that's going to give you that competition feed call. Everybody wants to learn that one. It's really easy to learn once you have figured that out. And when I explain it, it just clicks for people. And I'm hoping that that's what it did for you. Because people will tell you, again, to say the word, and it's hard to do it that way. Remember, use your chest and go from there. When you do comment, guys, I do ask that you try to stay away from profanity. Try not to really... not so much offend people, but kind of watch what you say. You can still be articulated and still kind of be a smart aleck without using profanity, which is fine to me. I find it funny. I'm in a profession where things like that don't bother me. I actually tend to pick on people myself, and that's fine. But remember, there are little eyes and ears that watch these videos and read your comments. The same thing with our older community. They watch and see this. So if you write anything, please remember, if you would not want your children to see it, your parents or your grandparents to see it, don't post it. Not the anti-bullying slogan, but you do have people out there of different backgrounds, ethnicities, and different religions that may or may not want to hear you use profanity or even see you use profanity. So keep that in mind. I appreciate it. I hope you guys will give it a like. I hope that this channel will take off for you guys, and that we can grow a channel that people really, really want to see. Thank you guys for watching it. Hope you give it a like. If you don't, give it a dislike, and that's fine. It's something that I can improve on, and I hope that I can get some good feedback from you guys. Thank you. Bye.